Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget to watch us, which you can do on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. And today we're catching up with one of our friends, with Caitlin Brooking. She is the Executive Director of Refill Jackson Initiative, and they have launched a new project that I think is pretty cool. And in general, just up to some really good things in West Jackson. So welcome back, Caitlin.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I can't remember when it was the last time you were here, but I keep up with all the good things going on there. But in case someone had never heard of Refill Jackson, let's start there. Let's give a little background on what you guys do and kind of the overall mission.
Sure. So Refill Jackson Initiative is a workforce development organization for 18 to 26-year-olds. We believe that all youth, regardless of circumstances, deserve the tools to achieve stability, self-sustainability, and prosperity. So we implement youth-forward programs that provide instruction on life skills, opportunities to practice those skills, make mistakes, and receive and respond to feedback in real-life settings.
And now, how long have y'all been? Because y'all go through, I guess, a cohort or sort of like a class at a time. So how many classes are we through now, Caitlin?
I believe our last class was cohort 22.
Wow.
Yes, we've been in existence for more than 5 years now. And we're actually about to expand our programming, or we're in the process of doing it now.
So over the last 5 years, what is it like watching these young adults come in, maybe not knowing what the next 5 years are going to look like for themselves? And I'm sure not every story is a success. I'm going to get it out. Success story. That's a funny word. But there's got to be more than not. So what's it like watching them sort of transform in a short period of time when giving intentional education?
Sure. So, of course, it's wonderful. I always say there's no bad kids. No bad kid has ever walked through the doors of Refill. And it's really been both heartwarming and, informative to get to know these young folks. As you said, when they come in the door, a lot of times they know they want to change their lives for the better, and they're just not quite sure how to do it. So working with them, learning about, their challenges and also their assets that they're coming in with, and really working with them to come up with a plan that's going to work for them in the short term and then in the long term is really satisfying, and they're just fun. Young people are great. They keep you young.
Do they?
Don't
Middle
look at
schoolers
these
are
gray
young,
hairs.
and they don't keep you young at all. Maybe young adults are a little bit different. How many is in a group as they go through, Caitlin?
So with our 9-week program, it's usually about 10 to 12. And we are actually shifting to a newer, longer model where we hope to have larger classes for 6 months instead of just 9 weeks.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the growth. We've been doing Refill Jackson Initiative for the last 5 years, obviously recognizing what works, what could use improvement.
For sure.
So where did y'all see that maybe there could be some tweaks to the program?
Absolutely. So we've had a lot of success working with young people.
You say that word so much better than me.
I have to say it a lot. We've had a lot of success working with young people on things like communication, like professional skills, and what to expect in the workplace. So we wanted to keep those elements. So we're keeping our focus on the National Career Readiness Certificate Program and the Smart Start program that we were doing in the classroom. But one area that we thought could use some improvement is how much actual hands-on work experience they get. We were doing 2 days a week of on-the-job training, and we really saw that members could use some more practice and some more feedback while they're actually in the workplace. So we had the opportunity to apply for AmeriCorps, and bringing my two worlds together, we were funded by Volunteer Mississippi to launch an AmeriCorps program. So we've combined the classroom training, which we're now calling pre-employment, and the AmeriCorps program model, which is a 5-month environmental corps called Green Corps, where members go through the pre-employment, they get their National Career Readiness Certificate. We do intake for social services and kind of like real basic career planning, see what their interests are. And then the Green Corps program allows them to get 5 months of work experience. They're doing all kinds of environmental projects, mostly in West Jackson right now, but we'll be hopefully expanding to the whole Jackson area. They're doing water quality monitoring through the Pearl River Keepers and the Mississippi Water Stewards programs, which are citizen science programs. We're doing storm drain marking with the city of Jackson. And we're doing a lot of neighborhood cleanups with neighborhood associations. So we've been working with the Jackson Association of Neighborhoods and some of the local neighborhood associations in West Jackson. And our goal is really to get them some experience in basic construction, some science experience. So they're getting certified to do water quality monitoring.
Because those are not legit, not that others aren't legit, but that's a legit job you could get out, coming out, or an avenue in which they could go, not just here in the local area, but in all cities and municipalities need this type of work.
Yeah, and our goal was really to get them the credentials that are kind of basic across a lot of industries. So we're doing OSHA 10, which is basic, construction, worksite safety, so they could go into industrial work, they could go into manufacturing, they could go into construction or environmental work. So we're really trying to get them kind of up-level their skills and work experience from what we were doing before.
When Refill first started 5 years ago, Caitlin, wasn't it primarily kind of thinking about the hospitality or restaurant sort of management?
Yes.
'Cause boy, has it come a long way in 5 years.
I'm hoping to loop back to that because, as you know, COVID shut down Refill Cafe, which was really a bummer. I love those
it was a cafe,
salads. But once we kind of get our feet under us with Green Corps, I'm also hoping to launch 2 more tracks that are similar in length and including new certifications. So I do want to bring back the hospitality track, do some Serve Safe training with them, and I also want to bring a healthcare track in and get them some basic healthcare certifications and work experience, hopefully in a local hospital.
So, well, you got plenty around here in the metro area for sure, and then beyond. And I feel like this is something that could be replicated. I know it's going on right here and centrally, but are things like the Refill Initiative happening in other places? Maybe not in Mississippi, but are you guys leaning on and learning from other like entities?
For sure. We went to visit the Youth Build program in Austin. We actually looked at American Youth Works is the nonprofit, and they've got all kinds of similar programs. They do, like us, they'll do wraparound social services, basic credentialing, and then paid work experience. So there's a lot of other successful programs out there that are doing this kind of work, and it's really a great chance to both, give our members some training and work experience, but we can really use their skills to help the community as well. So we've been out in West Jackson, cleaning up abandoned property, cleaning up parks, cleaning up all the waterways so that our drinking water is cleaner. So it's really been a great opportunity for the members to feel like they're giving back to their community while they're learning. And I've hope that the community sees them as well as leaders and as young people who are making a positive change.
How do they feel about the longer class schedule? Instead of 9 weeks, you now go to 6 months.
Yes, it seems to be working so far.
If you told my kid you could get out in 9 weeks or you could get out in 6 months, I know there's a different mindset sort of completely, but I think getting those extra things out of it, you can see where they would have a little bit more ants to hang around for you.
For sure. And being an AmeriCorps program allows us to give them some better benefits. So AmeriCorps members receive a modest living stipend. When they complete the program, they receive an education award that they can use for current tuition, or education expenses, or to repay student loans.
All good things. We've got more with Caitlin and Refill Jackson, Mississippi app and your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And don't forget about SuperTalk TV, which you can find on your computer or your mobile device. And while I got your attention, don't forget about our SuperTalk Mississippi news team. They are bringing you news to you wherever you are. You can catch them on nearly 50 stations across the state, but don't forget, too, you can find them on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just go to supertalk.fm/news on the go to keep up with what's going on across the state. We're keeping up with what's going on at Refill Jackson Initiative. We've got with us the executive director, Ms. Caitlin. 5 years strong, and now it's time to sort of expand. And you guys have just launched this Green Corps program to serve West Jackson. And I love that because you're not from Mississippi. You actually found your way to Mississippi to call home from New England through what?
I entered Mississippi in Biloxi.
And then worked your way?
That's right. I came in 2007 to Biloxi, Mississippi, as an AmeriCorps program coordinator. I worked on the coast for 2 years after Hurricane Katrina, and we did everything there. Mm-hmm. We built houses, we built parks, we rescued animals, all kinds of things.
And then worked your way sort of up. And so I think when you think about like bringing these type of programs in for young adults who may not have known what the next 5 years was going to look like, it gives them the opportunity to get into something that could expand their horizon beyond anything they could potentially think about, right?
Absolutely.
You never thought you would grow up to live in Mississippi for almost 2 decades now, did you, Caitlin?
I did not, but I'm so happy to be here.
So talking about AmeriCorps, I think people have heard that name, but maybe not really recognize what it is that they do. Because you mentioned it pays a little stipend, it puts them into service projects, but like explain how that works.
Sure. So there's a couple of different kinds of AmeriCorps, and what we have is called AmeriCorps State. That is managed by Volunteer Mississippi, which is your state agency on volunteerism. And what they do is they receive applications from nonprofits anywhere in the state to design their own AmeriCorps program. So it's like a grant. So we designed our program to both meet the needs of our young folks. So we included, as I mentioned, like OSHA 10 certification, water quality monitoring, some credentialing in our training. And then we set the schedule and we develop the projects. And then AmeriCorps, through Volunteer Mississippi, grants us funding to bring those members on, train them, and pay their living stipends while they're serving with us. So all of our members, for the most part, are alumni of our workforce training program. So a lot of them are from West Jackson or South Jackson. These are their communities that they're working in. So that's kind of an extra bonus that we really appreciate, and so do they, I hope, that they're actually working in their own communities, making things better.
Would they have the opportunity to maybe be a Caitlin one day where they go on with AmeriCorps and
anybody could be a Caitlin.
and open doors to, maybe broader horizons?
Absolutely. I think AmeriCorps really provides a great kind of link to the national programming. I've seen a lot of folks who serve in AmeriCorps state programs go on to AmeriCorps NCCC, which we have a campus here in Vicksburg, and that's a longer program. It's a 10-month program where they travel around the country and do service projects. And there's also AmeriCorps Vista, which is also a year-long program, and that's more capacity building. But all of these positions are kind of part of the AmeriCorps family, so there's a lot of benefits that go with that. Of course, you get to learn about nonprofits and government and kind of what the public service looks like. You get the education award. So it's really a good opportunity to kind of get hooked into public service in general.
I think that's really cool, and I think it's a great opportunity for all young people.
Absolutely.
Not just the young people who join Refill Jackson Initiative, but how do they join? How do you, because obviously this to me would be a coveted slot for those that, fall into your slot. You got more young people out there in your age range than you probably have slots open in each
true.
go. So how do you go through your applications, or what's the application process like for this?
Sure. So we try to make it simple. That's always been our approach, is to kind of lower the barriers to apply. With our new program structure, members will come in to the 4-week pre-employment program. And then right now, the second step we have is Green Corps, but hopefully we'll have these other tracks available. So the initial application process is just a quick interest form that's on our website, www.refilljackson.org. And anybody can fill it out. It's there all the time. And a staff member will respond, send you an email, give you a call. When we have our start dates, we will set up interviews for that. So you'll go through an in-person interview with at least 1 or 2 staff members. And then the intake process starts from there. So our only qualifications for the pre-employment program are that you're 18 to 26 and you want to be there. So there's we can take members from around central Mississippi, but we do only provide transportation within the city of Jackson. So geography can kind of be a limiting factor, but if you can get there and you want to be there, we want you there.
And I think more kids should know about these opportunities for sure, and that they're open to it. Once they get in there, I'm sure they're like, wow, I didn't know that there were all these options in terms of what to do with my life. Because that's kind of where you're helping them sort of figure out is those next steps.
Absolutely. The Smart Start curriculum, which is a Hines Community College curriculum, really offers a lot of career exploration. We use, the 5 key industries in Mississippi, so they learn about all these different industries. And then we really try to, we always say the quiet part out loud, is what I say about Refill. So really try to paint a picture of what is the pathway through some of these industries and what really fits what you are good at, what you want to do, what's realistic for you moving forward. A lot of our kids come in and, they've got a lot of challenges. They're housing insecure. They don't always have access to health care. They don't have cars. Some of them don't have driver's licenses. So we really try to make that pathway look attainable for them and figure out what are the reasonable next best steps.
Do they need or have to have a GED or graduate from high school?
They do not. About half of our members do not have a high school diploma or a GED. As an AmeriCorps program, we offer support for them to earn a GED while they're at Refill. And even if they're not in AmeriCorps, we do try to help them get through the GED programs with some of our partners at Jackson State or Hines or Tougaloo College.
How do they find you? I mean, I know you just said your website, but who's kind of helping you locate these particular individuals?
Sure. We've got some great partners out here in Jackson. We get a lot of referrals from the Mississippi Department of Human Services, which is one of our funders. We are a SNAP ENT program, education and training, so we get referrals from MDHS. Stew Pots Opportunity Center works with us quite a bit. That's Homeless Day Center in West Jackson. The Southern Christian Services PALS program for kids who are coming out of foster care. We have gotten referrals from Sunnybrook and Methodist Children's Homes. And really, we have started to get a lot of word of mouth.
Yeah.
The word's
Which is
getting
what you
around.
want, is when the kids graduate or accomplish it, and then they're encouraging their friends or the ones that they know in their circle to come and do the same thing. I mean,
Absolutely.
this sets them up for, Success.
Yes,
Said it,
you did it.
Caitlin.
You're successful.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
If people want to learn more information, whether it's through supporting it or maybe seeing, because I know you're only one person and this is very entangled into the community here, but I feel it's very replicable into other communities.
Sure.
And I'm sure there's like-minded things going on, but I don't know if the uniqueness with AmeriCorps. Is there a way to get in touch with you or how they can learn some more information?
For sure. So our website is always a good option. We do have a contact form in there. And then we have a main line that I forget right now, but my line is 601-207-3468. And my email is caitlin@refilljackson.org.
All righty. Well, y'all keep doing the good stuff, Caitlin.
Thank you.
I look forward to catching back up with you and see what else you got going on.
That's right.
All right. Stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.